Hi, Tim. Okay, here we go. Valuation day. Finally, evaluation day. I've got three watches here for you, and let's talk about them. First, this is the World Time watch that you bought from Japan. Cosmetically, it's in great shape. It's in great shape. It has that's the original JDM band. See, that's the original sizing instructions inside the clasp. That's JDM only, which is cool. The movement looks good. I mean, it looks bright and shiny. The watch looks good. It is desperately in need of service. It's running very low and it has a lot of beat error. That's real typical. Real typical. Um, so I'm not super concerned about that. That's very, very, very typical. But it definitely needs service. It's running poorly. Okay, so I don't think there's much to say about that. There's no functional issues with the watch. It is what it is. The lower mainspring are reported slightly worn. I need to see how bad that is, but I won't know until we actually get into it. So let's talk about the next watch. Hang on for me. Yeah, it's always nice to see those. It's always nice to see that clasp sticker for the JDM bracelets. It's always fun to see those resizing instructions still there. It's important to make sure that I try to preserve those as much as possible. It makes cleaning the brace a little harder because you want to preserve that and it tends to come off. So I can't just go bananas with the ultrasonic and clean it off. But okay, this is your father's watch. Functionally, it looks fine. The only thing I noticed is that the it's definitely serviced. You said it was serviced. You said it was serviced less than 5 years ago. I can definitely see lubrication here underneath this capsule. The only thing is that when I was manually winding it, which is involving you force wind it right here, the mainspring feels gluey to me. When a Seiko is serviced, the mainspring barrel has to be taken apart. It all has to come apart and it all has to be cleaned. And some watch people, they don't do that, and so it means that the mainspring barrel is filled with old grease and old oil and old metal shavings and crap like that, and it sucks up a ton of power. That said, the watch is not running badly. It's out of adjustment, badly out of adjustment, but it's running on the low side of okay. These aren't bad numbers. They're really not. They're lowish, but they're not bad. If it were my watch and I was going to put it into rotation to wear it regularly, I would service it. If I was not going to wear it regularly, I might not invest my time in doing that right now. It just depends on if you want to get that done or not. I know this watch is very special to you because it was your father's watch. It's not running badly. It definitely has lubrication, but the service intervals are 5 years. So as long as that, I mean, it can be sooner too, because the oils are still there, but that doesn't mean they aren't degraded. It doesn't mean they haven't fled away from other places. It's nice and preserved under the capsule, but the lubrication around the pivots and the train might not be there anymore. I don't know. We'll see. My suggestion would be to service it, but it's up to you if you want to make that investment. Okay, let's talk cosmetics now. Always with the cosmetics. Fun with the cosmetics. I never used to talk about the cosmetics and stuff until very early in my channel. I had a person who asked me to do that. Oh, you should flip the watch over and show the dial and talk about it. Never occurred to me to do that, and I think it's been a really good addition to the channel. So whoever that was years ago who said, "Hey man, show the front of the watch," that was a good suggestion. Okay. So these two watches, yeah. Let's go like this. Let's go like that. Watches. Yeah, there's that. There are the Japanese JDM only resizing instructions. You see those inside these Japan only watches. There's that watch. There's that watch. Hey, it's nice bright colors. These are always touchy to work with, though, because you've got to drop the crystal on. This crystal's been polished, by the way. You got to drop the crystal on, and you have to be very careful not to flex this plastic ring, because even the slightest flexion on it, and all of this painted surface will go, and it comes right off. It's nuts. This one, your battery, of course, was bad. I put a new battery in it. The old battery did leak ever so slightly. You're super lucky. The battery leak was contained, and it did not come apart. So you can see the movement there. It's a little hazy, but generally it's fine. It's unserviced. And yes, to answer your question, yes, this is a JDM model. This is the 7000. It's Japan only. So this was, you bought this in Tokyo, so obviously this is the Japan model. It's cool. They're not seen very often. I've owned a couple of these. I wish I kept them. But everything is working. So I put a new battery in, and I tested it, and everything's working. I mean, you definitely could spring for a service. A service on these is involved. On any 7A is involved because the movements are so advanced and they're so tightly built and they're so well made. But it's a time-consuming process to do a full service on one of these things, because I can't just go in and do a light service, which is lubricating the pivots. All of this material has to come off, and there's all these layers for the Moonphase. So it's a matter of whether or not you want to do it. It's definitely a runner. I'm just going to let this come around to the top, and then we can go from there. I haven't tested the reset on the Moonphase, but I can't imagine that it's not working, because the gearing is all tied in with everything else, and it's gonna work. I'm sure it's gonna work, because it's just, that's a hard connection. It's not like a fly-by-wire like these are. What magnificent technology! First analog quartz chronographs in the world. They never existed before this. Let's see if that kicks over. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so we stop. Actually, let's go there so we can see it all reset. Yeah, it's fine. You said you bought this and these were invented. Well, the 7As generally, they were first being made in December 1982. This is from June 1983, but I'm not actually sure when the Moonphases came out. I thought they all came out at the same time, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so you're going to need to decide. This is the JDM one. Definitely, absolutely needs a service. Probably needs a case rebuild, but it's a nice watch. Your father's watch, it's running okay. It might just need an adjustment. Depends on whether or not you feel like investing in that. This is running fine as it is. If it were mine, I would certainly service it, but you don't have to, and you got very lucky. That's about it. So you tell me what you want to do it done, and I'll do it. Okay, thank you so much.